Now, from your weather authority, meteorologist Cody Bailey.
Well, we're down to our last couple of hours before things really start to ramp up, especially as we go deeper into the morning hours tomorrow. By daybreak, I think that's where we'll already see quite a bit of snow falling from most of the area, and that sleet area down, especially along and south of the river. At some point, I think most of us, at least along and south of I-64, will be dealing with, at times, some freezing rain. Down to the south along the Western Kentucky Parkway, though, it'll be more in the way of freezing rain, sleet to all rain at some point tomorrow evening. A lot to talk about, but we'll start with a recap of today. The almanac for Evansville, 32 the high, and it looks like if we don't beat that tomorrow, we have begun or staying below freezing. This streak that will continue through pretty much all of next week. So not just the precipitation, of course, that's on the forefront of our minds right now, but behind the system, we're talking about the coldest air of the season so far, and especially in areas that may pick up a deeper snowpack. Mainly to the north of I-64, those temperatures could be even colder. We're forecasting temperatures next week, lows at least a couple nights down into the single digits. So, of course, it's not going to take much of a wind at all to produce wind chill factors below zero, something we'll have to keep a close watch on as we go into next week. No changes today. There is a possibility, depending on the evening trends tonight, that the Weather Service could, we've had some questions, could potentially extend this ice storm warning just north of the river. That was a topic of discussion this morning. The National Weather Service in Paducah had a conference call. That is a possibility. No word yet on if that is going to happen. But regardless, again, as we've been mentioning, we've been showing those snow totals, ice totals as well. Regardless of if those totals range a little bit one way or the other, area-wide, we're going to be looking at significant impacts. So whether you're seeing sleet and snow, sleet and freezing rain, or just freezing rain all across the tri-state, we're talking about major travel impacts and potentially, especially in that ice storm warning zone, the potential for some scattered to even possibly widespread power outages due to the ice that will accumulate and gusty conditions that are going to be blowing the branches around that could potentially snap and maybe take down those power lines tomorrow as well. So the snow and ice alert continues for tomorrow morning through tomorrow afternoon, and pretty much everything in play from snow to the north to sleet and snow for the heart of the tri-state, more sleet to freezing rain to the south. And the further south that you go, really along the Western Kentucky Parkway, will go from freezing rain eventually to all rain tomorrow. But down to the south, places like Central City tomorrow, we'll be dealing with the possibility of that freezing rain over to all rain. It's going to be a cold rain as well. We're also going to be seeing, because of that warmer air kind of nosing in from the south, a widespread range in temperatures where they could be pushing the upper 30s in our far southern counties, staying in the 20s and below freezing for basically the rest of the tri-state, the further north that you go. But we'll be watching our tower cameras the best that we can. We may have some icing issues on our lenses over the course of the next 24 hours as well. But traffic, again, moving fine just now. That's our Heads Construction tower camera in downtown Evansville from the top of the Fifth Third Bank building. Again, travel is going to be in some places nearly impossible depending on how much snow and ice that we see. That's going to be a major concern for tomorrow night, and even into Monday. We'll still have some accumulating snow early Monday morning. And then beyond that, as I mentioned, some of the coldest air of the season so far, anything that falls is not going to be melting. So it's going to be with us through most of next week. Temperatures area-wide are below freezing. We'll fall and see a range in temperatures low 20s to the north, low 30s or around 30 down to the south. And we'll be kind of in the mid-20s here in the Evansville area. Most of this activity likely not reaching the ground, at least just south of Harrisburg, Saline, and Gallatin County. Maybe getting some flurries up in Clay County, Illinois, but the trend is still setting itself up to arrive in our western counties between about 10 to midnight tonight, and could be in the Evansville area as early as 2, 3, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. We're already getting the clouds increasing, so we are overcast, and this system really starting to blossom now. If you joined us earlier this evening at 6:30, we just had kind of the leading edge of those snow showers developing. Now it's starting to take shape, and even some pockets of heavier snow just southwest of St. Louis. So they'll be in first out towards the west, and we'll get our fair share of the wintry precipitation as we go deeper into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. So here's an updated future tracker since our last broadcast at 6:30 this evening, showing the snow again arriving in our western counties after 1:30 in the morning. Fast forward to daybreak, or at least the pre-dawn hours, 4 in the morning. Most of the Evansville area and really most of Illinois and Indiana getting in on the snow. The leading edge of the sleet snow mixture entering our southwestern counties, places like Dawson Springs, over to Dixon as well, and then it overspreads the area pretty quickly. So by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, of course, we've got the cancellations going across the bottom of our screen. A lot of churches closing services tomorrow, some businesses adjusting as well. So if you don't have to be on the roads tomorrow night and Monday, try not to. If you do, obviously use caution. Give yourself plenty of time to reach your destination and reach it safely as well. We'll be dealing with snow first thing in the morning, and then we'll start to slowly see that sleet line start to push further to the north, and eventually the freezing rain line pushing further to the north as well. And that's when the significant ice threat starts to play in tomorrow morning, midday through the afternoon. We may get a lull in the activity, or at least some freezing drizzle overnight tomorrow night. So even with the bulk of the wintry mix coming to an end, or at least having a lull in that activity, we still could have some pretty dangerous issues on the roads. And then first thing Monday morning, if you again have to drive, the morning commute already going to be a mess, and then we're going to be seeing on top of that the potential for an additional 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches of snow as we head into our Monday. Future tracker showing the bulk of the ice pretty much give or take north or south, but right along the Ohio River with those shades of oranges there. The snowfall totals, best chance, again, along and north of I-64. Some guidance still wants to push 4 to 8 plus inches of rain. We're keeping that low just because the models sometimes factor in sleet as opposed to snow. So I think they're overdoing it a bit. So we're still keeping that zone north of 64, 3 to 6 inches. Area wide about a 1/4 inch. In the ice storm warning area, though, along and south of the river, anywhere from a 1/2 inch to potentially 3/4 of an inch of ice. So again, anything that accumulates on the power lines could lead to power outages. Have a plan, have plenty of food. Maybe a good idea tonight before you head to bed to make sure your devices, your phones are fully charged just in case you happen to lose power tomorrow. The other side of that, though, once the snow ends by lunch hour on Monday, check out those temperatures. Yes, highs only in the 20s, lows in the single digits. We'll get down to 4 Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then still below freezing by this time next week. Emily, we could be seeing another wave of accumulating snow by Friday morning of next week as well.